Picture this. It's midnight, and your dog just won't settle. You hear the thump, thump, thump of a back paw scratching against the floor over and over, and you already know tomorrow morning there's going to be another raw patch on their belly. I know how exhausting that is. I know the frustration of standing in the pet aisle staring at a tiny bottle of flea drops that costs more than your own shampoo, or writing a check at the vet's office for allergy pills and steroid shots that quiet things down for 2 or 3 weeks, and then the scratching comes right back. Here's the thing. You don't need another round of expensive medication or harsh chemical spot treatments to give your dog real relief. A lot of what actually helps is already sitting in your kitchen. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how a few simple pantry ingredients can calm inflamed skin, knock out the yeast that's causing that funky smell, and make your dog a much less appealing target for fleas and ticks. I'm a small animal veterinarian, and skin problems and parasite prevention are two of the most common reasons people bring their dogs into my clinic. The standard playbook is a monthly chemical treatment, and if things get bad, a pill that suppresses the immune system. Those tools have their place, but I like to also look at what's driving the problem in the first place, not just muting the symptom. This isn't about ear infections or obsessive licking specifically. That's a topic for another day. Today we're focused on 3 things: full body itching and hot, irritated skin, natural ways to make your dog less attractive to fleas and ticks, and the long-term diet changes that actually stop the cycle from starting over again. Let's get into it. Part 1. Calming the fire. When a dog is in the middle of a bad itch flare, their skin is genuinely inflamed, warmer to the touch, sometimes broken from scratching, sometimes weepy. The first job isn't to fix the underlying cause, it's to make your dog comfortable right now. For hot, angry patches, grab a jar of unrefined cold-pressed coconut oil. It's rich in lauric acid, which has natural antibacterial and antifungal properties. Warm a small amount between your fingers until it's soft, then gently work it into the irritated area. It cools the skin almost instantly, forms a light protective layer, and helps calm surface bacteria. If your dog licks a little off, that's not a concern. It's safe in small amounts. For that unmistakable corn chip smell coming from the paws, that's usually not a plain allergy. It's often a yeast overgrowth, most commonly an organism called Malassezia, which loves warm, damp spots like the skin between the toes. Yeast struggles in acidic conditions, which is where diluted apple cider vinegar comes in. Mix equal parts vinegar and warm water, dip a cotton ball, and dab it gently between the toes. For dogs that are constant paw lickers, a shallow paw soak in the same mixture works well too. Let the paws air dry afterward. One important caution here: never apply vinegar to skin that's already cracked, raw, or bleeding. It will sting badly and can slow healing. This trick is for intact, irritated but unbroken skin only. For itching that covers the whole body, after a romp through tall grass for instance, a colloidal oatmeal bath does wonders. Skip the pricey specialty shampoos and just grind a cup of plain, unsweetened oats into a fine powder using a blender or food processor. Draw a bath that's lukewarm, never hot. Heat pulls blood to the skin surface and makes inflammation worse, not better. Stir the oat powder into the water until it turns milky. Then pour it gently over your dog's coat and let them soak for around 10 minutes. Oatmeal binds to skin and forms a soothing film that draws out heat and calms irritation. Pat your dog dry afterward instead of rubbing. For anxious or habitual licking, something as simple as a large frozen carrot can help. Chewing triggers a natural release of calming brain chemicals, so it redirects the behavior, satisfies the urge to gnaw, and gives your dog a dose of vitamin A as a bonus. Part 2. Building a natural bug shield. Chemical flea and tick treatments work by making a dog's blood mildly toxic to parasites. Effective, but understandably something a lot of pet owners want to avoid if there's a gentler option. The natural approach works differently. Instead of poisoning anything, we change how your dog smells and tastes to bugs looking for a meal. Make the blood unappealing. A small amount of apple cider vinegar or a pinch of turmeric blended with a little coconut oil mixed into your dog's food shifts their blood chemistry just slightly. Dogs don't notice any difference, but insects apparently do. Many pet owners report fewer bites and fewer parasites sticking around when this is used consistently. Make your dog harder to find. Fleas and ticks hunt largely by scent, picking up on carbon dioxide and lactic acid on the skin. Brewer's yeast, added in small amounts, around half a teaspoon, to your dog's dinner, is rich in B vitamins that get released through the skin as your dog metabolizes it. The theory is that this creates a scent profile bugs find unpleasant, so they're less likely to stick around after landing. A small pinch of dried rosemary in the food is sometimes used for a similar effect. Break the life cycle. Raw unsalted pumpkin seeds contain an amino acid called cucurbitin, traditionally used as a natural dewormer. Grinding a spoonful into powder and mixing it into food is a simple way to support your dog's digestive health as part of an overall parasite prevention routine. None of these replace a real infestation treatment if your dog already has a heavy flea burden. For that, talk to your vet. But as a preventive layer, these small additions can meaningfully cut down on bites. Part 3. Fixing it from the inside. If your dog deals with itching that never fully goes away, the root cause is very often not on the skin at all. It starts in the gut. A lot of commercial dry foods lean heavily on cheap carbohydrate fillers, corn, wheat, potato starch. Those carbs break down into sugar, and sugar is exactly what feeds yeast overgrowth and unhelpful bacteria. Over time, a carb-heavy diet can throw off the balance of good bacteria in a dog's gut, leading to a kind of chronic immune overreaction, where the body starts treating harmless things like pollen or dust as threats. That overreaction often shows up as itchy, red, inflamed skin. The fix is rebuilding gut bacteria. A spoonful of plain unsweetened kefir, plain yogurt, or pure canned pumpkin puree mixed into your dog's regular food introduces beneficial bacteria that help settle the immune system and starve out the yeast responsible for that corn chip odor. One serious warning here. Always check the label before buying yogurt or kefir for your dog. Look out for xylitol, sometimes listed as birch sugar. It's a sugar substitute that is extremely toxic to dogs, even in tiny amounts, and can cause fatal liver damage. Only ever use plain unsweetened products with no artificial sweeteners. Rebuild the skin barrier. A dog's outer skin layer regenerates roughly every 3 weeks, which means there's a constant opportunity to build stronger, healthier skin, but only if the diet supplies the right raw materials. Skin cells are largely made of fat, and stale, oxidized kibble often doesn't provide enough usable fatty acids. Adding a source of omega-3s a couple of times a week makes a real difference. A mashed sardine, packed in water, no added salt, is an easy, affordable option. Plain cooked egg works too if your dog isn't a fan of fish. Homemade bone broth, just plain bones simmered in water, no onion or garlic, both of which are toxic to dogs, is another good source of collagen and hydration that supports the skin. Skip store-bought bone broth from the soup aisle. It's almost always seasoned with ingredients that aren't safe for dogs. Putting it all together. That's a lot of ingredients. Coconut oil, apple cider vinegar, oatmeal, turmeric, brewer's yeast, pumpkin seeds, kefir or yogurt, sardines, bone broth. You do not need to use all of them at once. In fact, please don't. Introducing too many new foods in a single day is a fast way to end up with an upset stomach. The simplest approach is rotation. Each day, hold back a small amount of your dog's regular kibble to make room. Then add just 3 things. 1 skin support ingredient, an egg, sardines, or a splash of bone broth. 1 gut support ingredient, a spoonful of yogurt, kefir, or pumpkin puree. 1 bug deterrent ingredient, a pinch of brewer's yeast, or a small splash of diluted apple cider vinegar. Rotate through these over the course of the week rather than repeating the same combination every day. It adds maybe 10 extra seconds to your routine, but done consistently, it supports gut health, calms inflamed skin, and adds a layer of natural protection against fleas and ticks. Living with a dog that's constantly itchy is genuinely hard, on both of you. Looking for gentler food-based options alongside whatever your vet recommends is a reasonable way to try to reduce the load of harsh chemicals on a small body. As always, if symptoms are severe, sudden, or not improving, a proper in-person vet visit is worth it. These tips are meant to support that care, not replace it. If you found this useful, feel free to share it with another pet owner who's dealing with the same 3 a.m. scratching marathon. And if you have a remedy that's worked for your own dog, drop it in the comments. Always curious what's out there. Take care of yourselves and give your dog a scratch behind the ears tonight.